Mallory Molly Gulley first attracted the world's attention in late 2020 by participating in the world-renowned spin-off of one of Discovery Channel's most prominent TV shows, Street Outlaws Memphis. She joined as part of JJ DeBoss's crew, which appears to be the only true competitor to Big Chief's versatile and experienced group of racers. Being one of JJ DeBoss's favorites, she quickly rose into the limelight to the surprise of many fans around the world, as she was deemed both attractive and talented for drag racing, which is by all means a rarity in the automotive world. JJ treated Mallory like his own daughter throughout her stay in the show, meaning that the audience was never able to get quite enough of her on screen. One of the many reasons why Molly is beloved by fans is her great racing potential that JJ would always point out, in spite of her reservations to actually engage in proper racing. Her trusty vehicle, named Ugly Duck, also has its own slice of fame, and the other members of JJ's crew were never reluctant to bet on it once the track began to heat up. However, due to her humble nature and general anxiety, Molly would always doubt herself and engage the activity with a lot of self-doubt. One such example took place in 2020, at which point she sat in her car timidly, when JJ immediately appeared to voice his support, saying, "Let's do your thing, Molly. Ain't nobody but you. You ain't gonna burn out." The issue appeared to be that Molly wasn't keeping the gas pedal pressed, which obviously detracted from her performance. JJ said, "The only thing Molly is slipping on is her burnouts. Once she masters that, she is going to be as good as anybody." To lift her spirits up and ensure she does her job well, JJ simply told her to hold it to the floor. "Don't let the gas off till you pass me." The pressure seemed to be mounting either way. However, with Molly stating, "I'm running 2 races tonight, one in my Ugly Duck, but the first is going to be in zip tie. To be honest, I'm not near as confident in zip tie as I am in my car. JJ says my burnouts aren't very good in zip tie." Near the start of the race, Gulley still wasn't doing her best, so JJ approached again and exclaimed, "Try to hold it down further, or you ain't going to get out of the water." Molly then personally explained why this lesson is important, stating, "Burnouts play a major factor in street racing because you got to get your tires hot so they can grip through, and in zip tie, since it works so good on the street, it's really hard to get the tires spinning." Still, she faced a much bigger challenge not long after that, when producers decided that she had to race JJ DeBoss, according to the schedule that they devised. The news came as a shock to his whole crew, and especially the leader himself, who never expected to face off against someone he was trying to encourage. He said, "Up next is me racing Molly in the Ugly Duck. I'd rather race anyone on the property than race one of my MSO, Memphis Street Outlaw, family members. But we gotta do it." JJ added that it made little difference to him whether a member of his group was racing against him or not, as he was going to ensure that each and every MSO personality gets the optimal vehicle treatment. Hence, he instantly started working on Molly's car and improving it so that it could potentially get first place. To that end, he added, "Even though I'm racing Molly, an old heavy, I'm going to make sure that she has the right tune and that she can win. Win, lose, or draw, I don't care, as long as MSO wins." As he gave her car its most optimal setup and went out of the driver's seat, JJ told Molly, "Let's do it. Run it. Drive it. Do your best. Do whatever you think you want to do. Don't worry about you racing me. You're like, I ain't even over there. You do exactly what you were born to do. Race. Let's do it." Having been encouraged by her mentor, Molly gave her thoughts to the filming crew, stating, "So, second round, I drew JJ an old heavy. I know this is probably going to be the toughest race I've ever raced, because I know I'll have to be super fast. I know I can't pedal. If I pedal, he's going to beat me, because I know that he's fast." Mallory was introduced to the world of motorsports at a very young age, thanks to her father, Kenneth Gulley, who owns the Gulley Garage in Arkansas. She had spent a great deal of time roaming around the premises and looking at all the mechanical bits strewn around the tables, marveling at the engineering of drag race cars. There were no Street Outlaws on TV back when Molly was a child, so she had to go watch the real thing in order to sate her appetite for speed. Having seen many a race by the time she was just about ready for the entertainment industry, Gulley had developed a hunger for being on the track itself, as the one controlling the roaring pile of metal hurling down the asphalt at unthinkable speeds. Fortunately for Molly, her senior had a connection in the racing business, JJ himself. It was thus no surprise when the video entitled "JJ DeBoss: How Mallory Gulley Got Her Wings" was uploaded on 15 February 2020, in which the future star is seen sitting in a luxury sports car with JJ and going for a test drive. The boss teases the audience, commenting on the live stream by saying, "Nah, I ain't got no big heart. My partner Kenneth Gulley told me he's gonna pay me to teach her to be a street racer. She might not have it though. I don't know. We're just about to see." This car was only the first part of her tryout, according to the mentor who instructed her on how to treat the test track, adding, "Like you're going street racing somebody. See what you got here, and then we gon' get a 70-mile Chevelle. See what you know. We gonna see the differences, see everything. Show us what you got." After about 10 minutes of driving around in different cars, JJ concludes his positive verdict and gives Molly a piece of advice, explaining, "If you're gonna be a street racer, then you're gonna have to learn how to shift the gears. You're gonna have to learn how to style it up. You're gonna have to do it if you're a street racer." JJ obviously took her under his wing not long afterwards, bringing her into the spotlight of the MSO crew and right into the hearts of his fans all over the planet. Even though Mallory had a great time filming the 4th season, she, for some reason, decided to discontinue her appearance in Street Outlaws Memphis, and was thus nowhere to be seen in Season 5. Outraged viewers started asking questions and scouring the internet for any clues as to what exactly went so wrong that Mallory had to just up and leave. But they were in for yet another surprise. It turns out nothing went wrong at all, but Mallory simply seems to have attracted all the fame and recognition she wanted, now seeking the same success in another area of expertise. While her father does own a garage, that's not the family's main line of work. Their business is actually called Gulley Bail Bonds, whose owner and CEO is Kenneth as well. Molly initially didn't seem wooed by the idea of paperwork and taking risks for assumed felons, so she remained reluctant for a long time. It looks filming for Street Outlaws Memphis made her much more willing to take risks, since in just a half a year following her debut in the series, Mallory went back to her roots and became a full-time employee of her father's bail bonds company. This business can be highly lucrative, depending on the area it's located in, with an average abundance of felons bringing in significantly more money than the lack thereof. A bail bondsman instantly charges 10% of the bail fee imposed by the court, during which time the defendant is free to move around, but still required to be present at all court proceedings and not try to escape the country. In the case of someone violating any of these conditions, the bail bondsman is expected to pay the full amount owed to the state, thus ensuring that at least the government gets its due in the worst possible circumstances. These simple rules allow many pretrial offenders to return to their normal lives after being arrested for only 10% of what they're actually supposed to pay in order to be free. Molly's sister Natalie had been in the family business for a long time before her sibling joined, helping her learn the ropes and taking the venture to new heights with much-needed twin-like energy that makes them stand out from the competition. Mallory's YouTube channel is used exclusively for uploading educational videos that address fugitives who run from the police, giving the audience advice what not to do in similar situations. One such video, and her most popular so far with over 10,000 views, shows the family trying to find a young African-American suspect whose bail money they were in the process of having to relinquish, as the defendant had skipped the trial altogether and gone into hiding. They eventually tracked him down to a run-of-the-mill hotel, in which he was hiding from both the bail bondsman and the authorities. After a few unsuccessful attempts at entering the suspect's room, coupled with multiple threats that he's going to call the police and report the group for harassing him, Molly and the team gave up on trying to reason with him. They instead let the suspect call the police, knowing full well what was about to happen. This is the main reason for the views, as the video is entitled, "Fugitive Calls the Cops on Himself." As can be inferred, he was recognized as a wanted criminal and thus immediately brought into custody by the authorities, after which the Gulleys tried their best to push the court into giving the bail amount back to the family, who had no fault in the conscious and planned escape of the male adult. Although it's not really common for bail bondsmen to be recompensed in full for the money they lost due to an irresponsible customer, it's still a regular business practice to try and do exactly that. Aside from that, it looks like her Instagram is full of great pastime activity posts, potentially showing Molly's rather more lackadaisical overall nature. Her picture with two other girls bearing the description of "last-minute concerts are always a good idea" is one such example, although Molly's favorite place for having her picture taken is either a boat or a beach. She's also garnered significant attention for the male side of the audience over the years, some of which is undoubtedly owed to a rather attractive figure, prompting many to wonder whether the automotive industry star is anywhere near walking down the aisle with an appropriate partner. Some will be disappointed to find out that Mallory isn't even close to having an even remotely similar plan in early 2023, since she has no boyfriend to speak of and only takes pictures with her female friends, meaning she is either single or just quite talented at keeping her private life out of the media. Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.